Hello YouTube! I have for you today another good BT11 deck that kind of popped out of the woodwork. It's something we see a little bit of now, but something we'll see a lot more of in BT12 if there's no ban list. It is just WarGreymon. Not the black WarGreymon, it is the WarGreymon. This is an OTK deck. However, I play mine a little more slightly control-y, kind of. You'll see what I mean when we get to the deck profile. This is the deck list that I've had success with. I know that there's going to be some cards in here that people are going to be like, oh, here we go. It's Mario. Here we go. But just trust me, okay? Like this deck profile. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, turn notification on Smash Potatoes. That way you know when all these amazing Digimon videos do come out. We will start with the eggs, and it should be 4 Koromons. I lost my 4th Koromon. It is somewhere on my desk. I don't think I've ever used 4 Koromon, so it might as well be 3 Koromon, but it's supposed to be 4 Koromon, 1000 DP boost. I like to play this deck like an Ancient Grey deck. You know, Ancient Grey, when it goes off, does all the security damage. Then the extra 1000 DP does help with that. So we do go ahead and play 4 copies. I don't know where the 4th one is. Deal with it. Alright, rookies. Very similar to Black WarGrey base. I like this rookie base a lot. I like 4 Augu X on player when Digivolve for top 3, add a Greymon, Omnimon, and x-antibody card. Really, really good. We play 4 copies of the level 3 promo Agumon, the plus 2000 DP during your turn. You kind of need that too. And we play 3 copies of rookie Agumon on play, real top 3, add a Greymon and Omnimon. We do play some Omnimons in the deck. I'm telling you that right now. There are some Omnimon cards in this deck. But usually hits 1 card. Sometimes it hits 2. Sometimes it hits none. I play 3 because, in my opinion, it is the less useful Agumon. And deck space in this deck is really tight because of certain ratios of certain things I play. So we do go ahead and play 11 rookies. And it's fine. You see them often enough. It's okay. Not a big deal. Champions. 4 copies of Greymon X. It's broken. If you have your x-antibody in the sources, you bottom deck it to prevent it from being removed from the field, basically, except by battle. It's really good. Or chaos degradation, I guess. And then your turn, you reduce the evolution cost by 1 for each color. So like a regular red metal gray costs 1 less, a red black one costs 2 less. Card's crazy. We play 4 copies of security plus 1 Greymon, inheritable. Because you need to be hitting security like a truck in this deck. And security plus 1 Greymon helps you get there. It's pretty good. And we play 2 copies of BT5 Greymon, the one that gives you plus 2000 DP. It also gains memory if you evolve and you have an Agumon in this deck. Not an Agumon X antibody, but an Agumon. So it does give you that 1 cost evolution effectively. That's it for champions, only 10. You see them often enough, not a really big deal. Moving on to ultimates. This is where things are going to start to get a little wonky, a little crazy. This is where the comments section is going to start flipping out. Actually, maybe not with this. I don't think this is debatable. In the WarGreymon deck, we play 4 copies of the BT9 Metal Grey X antibody. When you evolve this card, it's either 0 on Metal Grey or 3. And when you evolve it, it gets security plus 1. If you evolve it on a Metal Greymon, or if you have X antibody in the sources, you get plus 2000 DP, 3000, until the end of your opponent's turn. That matters. People misplay all the time. I see it on stream, where people will just attack into like something boosted by Metal Grey X. And it's like, what do you do when it's plus 3000? And they're like, oh, and it sucks. But yeah, that 3000 comes up because it makes your stack very, very much big. Very big stack. Now this is where things get strange. This is where it all goes downhill. We play 3 copies of BT8 Metal Grey. We play 3 copies of BT8 Metal Grey. A, because deck space is tight. B, because I'm trying other things. C, because I want to play some copies of it because of the Judgment of the Blade effect, where you can attack unsuspended Digimon. That's very important. And the D-Digivolve pop 2000 or less DP still comes up. It's still very powerful against things like Black WarGreymon. It's also very good against things like the Shoutmon deck, when they like do a Shoutmon card, and you can de-Digivolve it, and then their Shoutmon card is like a little weenie, whatever, and then you just attack into it with your evolved card, and before you know it, That's it. I'm not material saving anything. So I do think it's important to have some number of metal grays. I've been shifting between 3 and 4. I think either is correct. Playing less, though, I do think you need multiples. For the last ultimate in the deck, I have been in love, head over heels, with tears in my eyes, 2 copies of Metal Greymon Ultras mode. Now, some of you might be thinking, well, Mario, why are you playing this card? Well, let me tell you why. So it's a Metal Greymon for 1. That's great. It evolves for 0 on a Metal Greymon. That's nice. When Digivolving, pop something 5,000 or less if if you have a Tamer in play. But it happens. You know what I mean? It happens. Definitely big combo plays you can do. When you evolve Metal Greymon, you Digivolve something, pop a 3,000. You evolve this, pop another 5,000. It's pretty good. It's pretty fine. But the most important part of this card is the inheritable, the old turns. It gives you take away 2 sources from the same level to prevent hand deck bouncing, deletion, stuff like that. So gives you the old Greymon X inheritable ability without playing the old Greymon X. I like having 2 copies of it. It's a little bit better than in Black WarGrey. Black WarGrey has its own crazy protection stuff going on, but WarGrey has a little bit less. So having 2 Ultras mode really does help you in that regard. You don't always see Greymon X as well, so like being able to see stuff like this is super useful. Alright, that is it for Ultimates. Only 9. Now we are moving into the Spice. I play 3 copies of what I actually believe is the best Mega in this deck. 3 copies of the BT11 WarGreymon. Now, why do I call this one the best WarGreymon? Well, it has security +1 when you evolve it, and it delicate plans your opponent's security. Basically like Ancient Greymon. Basically. It lets you get safe, surefire checks into the opponent's security without the risk of running into options, which people are increasing more and more, by the way, it seems. Or decreasing in the case of Black WarGrey. But, like, you can always run into options of security in this format. I think every deck, for the most part, most decks play options of security. So having that WarGreymon insurance is really, really good. And it's easy to boost its DP in this deck. Between things like Omnimon, Greymon BT5, and the Koromon Egg, it's easy to get the spot guy big numbers. And we played another card in this deck that also helps in boosting DP, which we will get to shortly. We play 3 copies of this, and we play 2 copies of WarGreymon X. 4 to evolve regularly, 1 on a WarGreymon. All turns, when a card is removed from opponent's security stack, gain a memory. All turns, by the way. That comes up sometimes. But anyway, cool card, gain your memory back, and then end of attack once per turn, you pop something with DP less than or equal to this. And by the way, the DP on this card gets huge sometimes. So it can pop basically almost anything, which is pretty wild and pretty strong. Again, this is a nice boss monster for cleaning up things, for controlling the board, and this is the better card if you're going to just go for face, which is important. That's it for the 6s. We're going to move on to the 7s, which is going to be the controversial part, but I'm going to tell you why it's controversial and tell you what I've done about it. We play 1 of all the major Omnimons. 1 Blitz, 1 BT5 on the X, 1 BT10 on the X. Some of you might be thinking you are on crack because you only play 1 Blitz Omni. Now, hear me out. Yes, there's only 1 Blitz Omni in the deck. Originally, it used to be something like this, where this was a Blitz Omni. There used to be 2. And then there used to be the one on the X for the extra wombo, where like you evolve on, you strip their security and you swing for game. That's what this card does, by the way. It also bounces things when it evolves. It's pretty good. But anyway, the reason I had to make this switch was because in testing, this deck was still getting hammed by WarGreymon. If you couldn't finish, or not WarGreymon, sorry, Grandis. That's what the deck's called. Big green bugs. So like if you didn't have a way to stop the big green bugs, if I couldn't finish them off because I was missing a piece, they were finishing me off. Absolutely. So I'd rather take the extra insurance and the battle protection, which is not only just useful against Grandis, but other matchups, and just stick it in this deck. But if you don't care about that, then go back to this ratio, because this ratio is also honestly fine and not really a big deal. And Blitz for game is always nice. Anyway, that's it for the Digimon. And now we're going to move on to Tamers. I don't think a whole lot of this is super controversial. I'm playing 4 copies of Cool Boy, because Cool Boy is bonkers. gain memory, draw cards. It's wild. We play 3 memory tamers in this deck. Now, this is where people are going to get upset. I promise. I promise someone in the comment section, or people in my Twitch chat even right now, they're going to get really upset when they see this. We're playing 2 copies of Tai Kamiya, and we're playing 1 copy of Yuya. Okay, so what drugs am I on? I'm not on any drugs. This is crazy. You need the ties in order to help get that insurance that you get that extra security potentially for game. Tai grants you that. I play the Yuya because the Yuya gives you option invulnerability and plus 2000 DP. So if you're missing your Agumon or you're missing your BT5 Greymon, Yuya also gives you that missing 2000. And plus the Greymon vulnerability is really good as well. Because if you don't always have like WarGrey or whatever, you have an Omni or whatever, you know, Yuya makes it so your stack is safe for a turn. Which is great in my opinion. Yeah, that's... This one random Yuya has been saving my ass in testing. I used to do just ties, and it was very aggro, very cool. But then I kept losing the random nonsense. And Yuya has limited the random nonsense that I lose to. So, try it. You'll like it. And one of the big things about playing the Yuya is it lets me play 2 copies of Hades Force in my WarGreymon deck. Yeah, I know. I know. I know. We're going to read this card because I need you guys to understand why I play this card in this deck. Okay? So, 7 the cost. It needs black and red, which is why you need the Yuya. When you would play this card, if you have Digimon with x-antibody in the cards in play, reduce the cost by 2. By the way, last 3 cards in our deck are 3 x-antibodies. They're there. Alright, cool. Just so you guys know, we do play 3 of this. Because it is very important to do warp plays into WarGrey X or Omni X or whatever. It's important. Anyway, main. Okay, I'm going to tell you guys why we're playing this card, okay? Choose any number of your opponent's Digimon and or Tamers whose combined play costs are less than or equal to the play cost of one of your Digimon with Greymon in its name. And delete all the chosen cards. Then, one of your Digimon with Greymon in its name may attack a player. So, as long as we have Yuya, or we're even like, there are times when I've just had a Greymon X on board, to be honest, if I had Yuya. Like Greymon X, separate tower, and then WarGreymon stack, or whatever. So your WarGreymons both cost 12, whatever one you want to use. So you pop your 12 cost stuff, and then you swing. If you have x-antibody underneath that, you warp it into an Omnimon play, and you're going crazy. Hades Force is super, super, super insane. Insano bananas. And I wanted to play this card. So, I go ahead and play the Yuya. And the Greymon X's sometimes it comes up. I'll play the Hades Force that too. I would not play more than that in this deck. And if anything, I thought about cutting it. Because sometimes you do draw both in your opening hand. It sucks. But besides that, it's kind of okay. This card's kind of insane. Like, really fucking good. That's it for the deck. That is WarGreymon. Red OTK, the deck. I like to play this deck like an Ancient Greymon deck, if possible, with this WarGreymon, with this Tai Kamiya, with this dude, and this dude, and getting all sort 1, 2, 3, 4 bonus checks on top of your regular. It's really good. It's very good. And if you can't afford to do that, you can play control options with things like WarGreymon X and Omni X and Hades Force. So I do think it's a really good deck. Definitely try it out. See if you like it. And that's all I got for this deck profile, guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. See you later. Bye.